Steam was down, Steam is up, and we are ready to go once again. We are still in sunny Santa Monica, the land of vehicles, and piers, water, sea, sun, and all the rest of it. Lots of shrimp to be had, as well as steak, international food. Not sure what else to say about Santa Monica, because I spend most of my time in here playing Counter-Strike. Now, we have another match for you. It's Big versus Fnatic. Fnatic are coming off a hot run. It will, rather than coming off a hot run, they are in the midst of a hot run. I think it's fair to say, with their new look roster, which everybody, I'm sure, is happy to see, save for their opponents. And Big continue to upset teams, and sometimes, I don't know, they're a hard team to predict. It's been somewhat swingy, but I feel like, I don't know, you never quite know what Big is going to turn up at the moment. We can have a look and see where these teams are going to be playing. Again, we are just a little delayed, due to Steam going down for a few minutes. Fnatic versus Big. So Inferno will be the first map. Vertigo still being insta-vetoed in most of these series. Inferno, Train, and Nuke will be the fighting ground. So the open maps like Dust 2 and Mirage are both going to be vetoed by Fnatic. They're going to make it hard for Big. They're going to have to fight in complicated territory.
I think this will be easy for Fnatic. I think Fnatic are looking really good. Obviously, the results are kind of proving that. I think the kind of synergy that they have at the moment is amazing, because they have that Fnatic level resiliency that I feel like was characteristic of the Fnatic at their best. And Inferno was always a very good map for them. They always played it a little bit differently to everybody else. They were a bit tighter. They played the CT slice a bit more passive than the meta would suggest. And I think this will be too difficult for Big, actually. Despite Sliggy, whatever Sliggy says later on, I think this will be too difficult.
All right, well, I think Dan has started off the predictions as far as the desk is concerned. So Dan's going for Fnatic. I will pick Fnatic as well. I think they're a safer pair of hands. I think that Flusher was most certainly a missing piece for the team who was much needed. And I feel like it's hard for a Fnatic to be complete without Flusher, but certainly easy for them to be complete with Flusher. And I love that logo. It's nice to see it back. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen it on the screen there. So yeah, I'm going to be picking Fnatic as well.
It's really cool as well, because I've seen this. I've been looking at this logo since 2003. The CEO, or the person that founded this team, was someone I used to play Quake against and with frequently. And it was amazing seeing the rise from Vu, from Painkiller, the old story of, selling the car to fund Vu to go to land, and Vu became the best Painkiller player, and except he lost against Fatality in the final eventually, but never mind.
Eric, what's your prediction?
Big. I'm going with Big.
Yeah?
I just think maybe Fnatic maybe have an off day today. I don't know.
Okay then. Sliggy, what do you think? Where do your thoughts lie here?
Yeah, I think Big will win this as well. But it's going to be close. It's going to be like 3 maps for sure.
Well, we've got a split desk. Let's see what the people at home think. The game will be starting soon, so we'll make it snappy. I would imagine there'll be more support for Fnatic, and there we go. Solid 74% for Fnatic to the 26 for Big. That's the thoughts of the people. What are the thoughts of Pinnacle themselves? Who do they have as a favourite for this? Surely it's got to be Fnatic with the results they've had, the deeper tournaments, the lands, and so on. No, they've got Big as a favourite, 1.85. 1.974. Fnatic is pretty close though, but there is they have Fnatic as a slice underdog here, so that's a surprise for me. I wasn't expecting that. So again, we'll see how this one plays out. It is winnable for Big, but again, I feel like it's more murkier from my point of view with Big, where sometimes they just get a 2-0 that you were never expecting, and sometimes they get smashed. So we'll see what's going to happen on this one. I don't know. The open maps, you can see, it feels to me that Fnatic tried to pick against Big as opposed to pick their own strengths, just closing out all the open maps. So yeah, it's going to be tough territory. Communication is going to be important. 2-man setups, coordination, having a feel for the climate on the map. But of course, we will start on Inferno.
Mastermind Gabi. Let's see what he has up his sleeve. I'm going to start off slow. Just he's trying to find some information. Oh, Flush is pushed out B, so Doesn't see anyone yet. Does spot person at Laws get gooshed down to 6 HP. It falls him, makes him falls back to the B-bomb site.
Fnatic with classic Swedish style of Inferno is really passive right now, and oh, see you later.
Oh my goodness.
Perfect, beautiful.
800 IQ.
And now we've got Golden on loan on the bomb side. The rotation's beginning to come in. Nice pop from Golden. That's a nice angle, I have to say. And he's going to have to hold down construction, and the smoke will kind of actually help him do that. So that's something for Fnatic on this retake. 4v4 as well, thanks to Golden, who has the smoke and the kits. So not looking too bad here for Fnatic. If he can get the retake smoke onto Banana as well, maybe somewhere else. We'll have to see where he uses that one. Now the push comes in, JW. Oh god, what on earth is happening to JW there? He completely messed that one up.
He slipped on a
He
banana peel.
He shot his first like 2 or 3 bullets, like the more accurate bullets, whilst he was kind of in the air, and then he's spamming. So that was just a rough look overall from JW, but it's okay, it happens.
3 for Tabson, 2 for Xantares, and we have called into question Xantares' efficacy on Big, his explosiveness. Versus Space Soldiers, it hasn't quite been the same, although we have seen some increases in that output of late, but we want to see it consistently. We want to see old Xantares, we want him to be able to show us why he's on the team, and that is partly the team using him in the right fashion as well, not just down to the individual. He's given a role to play, but it needs to be the right one to exploit his abilities, which are quite considerable. He will have the 1 AK-47 in this round for Big, with 4 MAC-10s flanking him. Flying V with a MAC-10 at the tip. Initial presence is shown. Xantares will creep through the smoke grenade, but he's been caught by Golden, and that AK can be rescued. Tabson might have a rough task of trying to protect this weapon. You can see he's considering it. Flush of the CZ, of course, will fall back, and he's got an AK to pull out as well.
Ooh, the damage is continuing. Flusher, great stuff through the smoke. And now we've got a 4v2. Fnatic looking like they're going to secure this round unless something untoward is to happen to their defense, and maybe it is. Tizian with the fast kill and plant, but he is the last man standing in the 1 versus 3. He's got a MAC-10. I don't think there's an upgrade anywhere nearby. He's been spotted now. There's the peaks. Fnatic trying not to get isolated. Tizian knows he has to try to force the 1v1, and he will go down.
Kind of a mess up from Big in that round. As soon as you see CT smokes, you have to assume it's going to be a force buy. That's when you should stop trying to poke for information. Stop trying to get these like alert kills as you saw Xantares try to do beyond the smoke. He put himself in a really bad spot by himself, and his teammate couldn't help exchange the kill. He's the only one that had the AK. It's better just to fall back, wait out the smokes, and then hit something as a site with numbers, or at least with some pop flashes and smokes instead of these risky kills. Because as you see right here, he got killed 3 people pretty much without even seeing anyone, because they were all kind of spread out and everything.
Yeah, maybe there was more mileage in that play with the AK in a buy versus buy, where there are rifles in the hole and so on, but lesson learned. An expensive one, perhaps, as it's gifted opportunity to Fnatic now to have a reasonable start to Inferno. Flusher forced away from the arch position. Good behind smokes, but maybe not in the face of a flashbang. Prims will go through the smoke down. That's a lot of information for him. See if the Tease tries to punish. Brolan's in the pit now with a MAC-10. Not the best range, really, with this weapon. And everyone's got Kevlar. There is a lack of helmets, though, on the team. Only 2 on the 4 players. Prim's going through smokes again to keep map control. Brolan needs some help, but he won't get it in time. CW around the smoke. This is inviting variance. Golden running through the smokes. Absolute madness. Very obscured vision. Carnage, Big creating anarchy on the A bomb site and benefiting from it.
That's pretty crazy. All the action there. What a response from Big. It's going to be interesting to see how Fnatic decide to handle this one. It will force it up, and it will be a tough round to win. Like how, you know, Golden's rocking my knife.
It's your knife.
Yeah. Golden's the same knife as me.
Oh, nice. You have a friend, Dan. Force buy from Fnatic. There's winning the first round, losing the second, then there's losing the first round, winning the second, and losing the third. Who knows what is worse? Probably this, all things considered, should they lose this round, Fnatic, which they probably will. Rather than the 1 AK and the 4 MAC-10s, it's 1 MAC-10 and 4 rifles for the likes of Big. This time they go over the smoke, not through the smoke in isolation. HE grenades and Tabson will take position. Molotov will force the CTs forwards. Delete the flashbang. He's got good cover though in the pool, such is the nature of it. Opening kill for both sides. Crims finds 3 on the bomb site. What in the blazes? How has he done that? That's such a low percentage play. But his teammates haven't picked up any weapons just yet. And now it's just down to Brolan with a CZ75. So while they had a numbers advantage, he doesn't really have a weaponry advantage at all. Next is low, but who is he going to find first?
Yeah, they're playing at pretty ideal ranges as well. Ooh. Finds Spear. That kind of had to be an instant kill, I think, for this to really work out, and he's going to try to back away. He does have that smoke to try to escape if he wants, but he's going to continue to go for it. Gets the kill as well, the high flash as well. He will push forwards. And let's not forget how low Nex is. Roland doesn't know where he is, though. And both players playing around the oranges, and that will be a wrap for Fnatic. Big with 3-1 now as they will be up against an eco.
Grim's almost saved the round for Fnatic there
Wow.
with those 3 scout kills.
That's pretty epic. And they're keeping the damage up, which is important. But it's definitely a really tough start. You know, losing that second round. Oh, sorry. After winning the second round and then losing the following round, it's just, you know, this doesn't really get worse than that in terms of the start for the T side.
But luckily with the
CT
new
side.
money
The CT
system,
side.
it's okay. It's okay with the new money system. You know,
No, it's not. It sucks.
well, no, that's wrong.
What are you talking about?
I don't think that's right.
It is right.
I don't think so.
It is right. That's the round loss they got in the previous round. 1900.
They already run at least 2 losses in a row, and it says 1. How's that right?
No, that's... Oh, I see. Well, full 4, but that's 2, I guess, technically. Because max loss bonus is 5, right? So it's kind of... I see what you mean there. Perhaps we need to add a square there. So you can look at the numbers, not the shapes. You're a man who prefers the pictures in the books.
Yeah, I do.
I'll go for the words and the numbers. Fnatic have a 5 versus 4. They've invested again. If they lose this round, this is a really bad start. They realize that. They've taken the gamble to try and win it. And so far, so good.
2W waiting for that flashbang. I'm actually a big fan of this Deagle. Let's see if he can make it sing. No. He'll be spotted though. Hey, looking for another one. Oh my. Can he find the headshot? Oh god, he's done a lot of damage. My god. That could have a part to play as Big move forwards towards the safe site, because there are a lot of automatic weapons. We've got the MP9s, the CZ. Those weakened players will be quick work should Fnatic find good engagements. And Big's job is to deny that, so move forwards. Oh, they're trying to wrap. Will Brolan make a play? Flusher in the meanwhile. Oh my god, he lands not a single bullet on the weakest player. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think most of the time he gets a kill there, but this time he won't. Golden. Tabson is just basically easy information man, but Golden gets a second headshot. Now he's buying time for the rotation. Brolan comes in from the back, and Fnatic will win another fourth buy. But they've got to get a consecutive round now. They really do.
I love the overkill headshot on the guy that's got 10 HP as he's jumping mid-air. It's like the patience here. Do we have a slowdown on this? I bet we do. I bet we do. Here it is. See, look. Yeah. Oh. Lining up. Golden saving the round with the Deagle again. They won this, the second round because of Golden getting a 1-Deag as well at the beginning of that round. So he's really doing excellent work. And look at what this has done to Big's economy. Given how bad the start was for Fnatic and where their economy was, it's actually very impressive that they found themselves in this position. If they actually win this round, they will be stabilizing. I never would have thought... I was thinking we're going to see like a 6-2 scoreline in favor of big or something
calculated
like
calculated force by Fnatic. You know, they're pretty confident on their CT side, so that's one of the only reasons why you'd call a force buy when's, you know, you probably hovering around 3K. You don't want to just buy a pistol, so they invest in this submachine guns and armor.
I really enjoy Fnatic as a team again. You know, once they've kind of taken a grip once again of their previous identity, and they're always able to make stuff happen no matter what they have. They're just very, very smart Counter-Strike players, and so I'm so happy to see them finding more success recently. They always were a very exciting team to watch. Starting to have a dwindling number of grenades now that the round has been progressing all the way to the 30-second mark. Goes on the bomb sites, full spray down, Brolin as well. And it looks like there may be absolutely no damage here. That big, and that is the case. That is absolutely what Fnatic wanted, and their economy has been stabilized. And you know what? It could get so much better. If they win this round clean as well, everyone's going to be on 5K and above. Perfect.
It may just work out for Fnatic after all. Let's see if Big will invest anything into this round.
Surprised not even like a pop flash, no P250.
I love it. Focus for the future rounds. I like a clean eco where there's nothing invested because it shows discipline. And sometimes you need to see some discipline. Sometimes you need that to show some promise. It's maybe a slow round despite the nothingness from Big, but Golden may have other ideas. Of course, you want to exhaust those $600 incendiaries and other things. Golden will emerge amongst the chickens like some kind of bad Batman. Now things could get awkward for Fnatic with the smoke up. See Flusher swinging wildly. Of course he gets one through the smoke as well, and they will lose no one. But these are the kind of plays you see from Fnatic. They're unnecessary, they're risky, but they pay off, and they're annoying if you're on the receiving end of them. And that's part of the signature style of Fnatic, which is a great credit to Counter-Strike, especially on Inferno.
What's going on?
Talk to me.
So Big had like 5K and they're buying pistol armor. Literally like 4 people had 4 to 5K. I don't know.
Valen said, do you remember when Valens was here last week? He said that there was a team they would scrim who would often go for an extra eco sometimes. Was it Big? Do you remember who it was?
Yeah, it was.
It was Big.
He said sometimes even though they could buy, they would be half buying for like the first like 5 or 6 rounds. Even if they win every round, they were just half buying every round.
Okay, so we had this discussion and said that maybe they were experimenting with something. There's got to be some kind of calculation which maybe gives them extra buys in the long run if they get their loss bonus to a certain point. I can't figure out what else it could be. I would imagine they would have particular strats for these ups, but they haven't quite worked out. And there's some bonus money for the SMGs.
On the last 3 rounds, Big have only got 1 kill, I think. That's not good.
So maybe it's specifically to have... They may have done some numbers on how likely are we to win a round if we don't have full grenades. Like, I wasn't paying attention to how much money they had at the start of the previous run. You said 5K. So maybe there's something to do with it, because if you look at how much money they have...
It wasn't all 5K.
If you look at how much money they have left, it's not about a long-term thing with the money, because there's basically no money left. So it has to be for full utility. I can't see any other way it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very unique.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's bad. It's actually quite interesting because there are some rounds we see where a side just doesn't have the utility, and you just have a feeling that they've got like a really low percentage to win it unless something crazy happens, and maybe Big are trying to play against that. They've got an opening pick through Boiler and plenty of time to play a 5 versus 4.
Tizian's in position. I wonder if he will kind of solo play this. He does have a full nade set, and he's going to die with a full nade set.
There you go. That's saved. It's down the drain.
And that kind of sucks because he was in a lurk position, and maybe the lurk nade sets are a little bit predictable at this point from the apartments, but either way, Fnatic is stacking towards the EA bomb site, and
It's weird.
do they go for a retake? Looks like they may... Oh, they're at least going for a containment. They do have an incendiary and a smoke, so there is I mean, that's really useful for the retake. Smoke off banana, perhaps.
I think a situation like this, well, the 4 versus 4, while they were all on A, would be a great... Like, if you showed the run up to this, if you ask loads of players, would you go for retake here? Would you say? I think it'd be interesting to discuss, because you can see this is going to be a really difficult one. I mean, Smooya's just having some fun on the B bomb site with all the channels open. But it'll be interesting if you ask like 20 IGLs. This is the situation. What do you do?
So I mean, it's kind of, for me, it's a very Swedish thing, James, because sometimes, like, in the old Swedish Counter-Strike, you'd see, like, if you're going to stack, what you're saying is, we're gambling. We're gambling. If you hit the other bomb site, we've lost the round. If you hit this site, we're going to absolutely smash you. And so to kind of go for the retake is almost like trying to have your cake and eat it too situation, where it's like, we want to win every situation, even though you're gambling for one situation. So it's, I think that's a weird one.
And I also think you're kind of right, because on this map, it's really hard to retake B with minimal utility. You need flashes, you need smokes, and Molotov to kind of flush them out. Big got into the bomb site. They planted the bomb with 4 people, and Fnatic was still rotating in A.
Yeah, they had no construction control.
No,
that's like the minimum
nothing.
thing you
They had
need.
nothing.
Yeah, and it gives you a rough idea of where some of the players are as well, which can go a long way in how you choose to attack and visualize. But there we go. 4 to 5. Big have got another round on the board. AWPs for both squads. Crim's going for a fast one, but Smee is faster. And that's a frag where they're unable to respond.
Ooh.
These are big problems now for Fnatic. This is going to drain the money. That's $12,000 lost in a matter of seconds. A 5 versus 3 for Big with 1:30 on the clock. This should be unwinnable for Fnatic. It should be.
Yeah, and it comes back to that last round, you know, just losing 4 guns when they could have saved 4 guns. We'll see if they can make a recovery here. Big are bearing down on this A bomb side. The bomb's been spotted and fragged. We collected again, of course, by next. And if fragging continues for Big, picking off Golden, are they going to commit themselves towards the safe bomb side? Obviously, they know the rotations come into this site. And Fnatic understand that it's a rotation out. Flusher goes through the flames, and he might catch someone maybe, but their stepping will be heard. He's absolutely a dead man. Tizian on his flank. But will he get the kill first? No.
You will see the bomb.
Now they go back to A, because they left the left towards
that
B.
is.
A.
Yeah.
The classic seesaw of Inferno, the seesawing. I picked up that term from Valence. I like that.
Yeah,
Because
good term.
he was referring to it as seesawing.
Swingy. That's how I like to... that's how I've described Big's games anyway. At least, well, their matches from one to the other, even in one bracket, like or even in one match, in one series.
I used that term last season.
It's been swingy.
Oh, well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like going from A to B to A to B to A to B.
Oh,
like
I
trying
see.
to outmaneuver the opponent
yes.
and commit the rotations and so on. Yeah, because that's what they effectively did in this round. Oh well, they'd already won the round at that point, but
Astralis is one of the better teams that knows when to save. Like, even on this map, you'll see Astralis like randomly stack sites. And if in that situation where there's, you know, the other team has bomb and everything in the site, and they just, even with 4 people alive, they just save it. It's not worth it.
it makes an enormous difference. It makes a really big difference. You can especially notice it when you're playing pugs, and in general, people will save way less in pugs just because it's a pug.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that it impacts the economy, it really feels like you just have way less chances overall, just for not saving at the appropriate moments, or from like getting a gun and then going and dying as opposed to taking it away to safety. So 5-5 is the scoreline. This game's been a little back and forth. Big with a great start, then Fnatic with a great recovery, then a ball mistakes. That's a great flick. Smee is delivering so far. This is tough now. You just lost a person on banana. Rotation comes in. Ooh, default AWP. What do you think about that, James?
I have a default AWP, which I called old schools in my rotation. You have to have a default AWP as part of your rotation. It's a big green gun. It's a lovely color.
You should call it the AWM.
Hmm.
Because that's what it was in the console in well, 1.6.
It's weird. They like changed it. It was
Yeah.
AWP at first. Arctic War Pistol. I don't know why I called it that.
Yeah.
And then
Well, especially Arctic Warfare
I think the
Police, I think.
Police.
But if, yeah.
Super Magnum for the SM. We fired the Super Magnum at the Accuracy International headquarters. People who made the gun. That was really fun.
Yeah, that was amazing.
There are 29 seconds here for Big to make their play. They show some presence towards the B bomb site, but Fnatic have got, well, they're waiting on the A bomb site at the moment. They're deep in with Brolan. There's a two-man setup. There's double peek, a continuation spray, a pickup of the bomb, absolute deletions for everybody on the A bomb site, and that's the kind of run Fnatic need. Most of their players surviving, or the majority, because rounds have been expensive. You can see the money they don't have. So that's a nice hold. You don't see that double peek too often. But it's good. They're in the lead once again, Fnatic. Big have the money to come back from this, however. They can keep the pressure up and try to break Fnatic again.
I like the idea by Big on that round. I think if they had an extra 15 seconds for Tapson to work B, I think the fake would have worked a lot more. It's hard to fake a bomb site if you don't get any kills or they don't see you or anything like that. And they didn't give him enough time. Big did not have enough time to really allow Fnatic to overthink, over-rotate. Because they only had like 15 seconds, so they had to rush on middle to A.
Decisions being made. Where will Big go? Will it start off default, as almost every round does on Inferno? Fnatic just sending the 2-2 banana. And JW looking for the aggression, not going too deep though. This is what I mentioned before, you know, Fnatic are a team that's like this. It just seems like Swedish Counter-Strike. They'll always play more passively on banana than is the meta, and just in general. The Swedish teams are really good at falling all the way back, and with the backs against the wall in the most passive positions, still delivering strong defenses. I feel like that's been characteristic for a long time.
They're still playing 1.6 in their hearts.
Yeah. And, well, here it is. We've got the extra rotation. A flotation device is in Crims, floating his way from A to B. And it looks like Big are going to just completely go all in on B, and Fnatic don't have any argument to rotate Crims off of B because they have top mid control right now.
Seems that he is going to be deploying a grenade top mid. So there's nobody by the well to drop the smoke, the flash into pool rather. There's a re-smoke from JW. There's grenades in front of the site, however. That's some good damage. Tabson down to 2 HP. Big are stuck for the time being, and this is buying time for the rotation. Tabson might be close enough to hit a rotation on Speedway from the CT, looking for something, but receiving what he wasn't looking for in terms of bullets. 23 seconds, Big still stuck behind the choke point, and it seems they'll give this one up. It just hasn't worked out for them. That late smoke was crucial for Fnatic. They built the wall, and Big can't climb it.
Yeah, that was great. Great utility usage. Even that one blast flashbang from JW, the way he bounced it. I think it was JW who bounced it from Coffins. Just blinded everybody and just abandoned everything at that point. Yeah, that's a really nice hold. Maybe you don't need more than 2 people on the B-bomb side if you're Fnatic. This spray was delightful.
It's hard to take that B-bomb site when Fnatic still have their smokes and they're kind of slowing you down every time you toss a nade set.
Yeah.
So against these kind of teams, as an IGL, you have to think, do we have any bait nades kind of setups where you toss some set pieces to bait some Molotov, to bait some extra smokes from the CTs?
Well, Fnatic actually with deeper pressure towards banana this time. They got the deep smoke. A couple of mollies sent out as well, so they're trying to take control and position there, and Santaris has been spotted walking down boiler and he's been tagged as well. It's a bad look if you are big at the moment. They'll be moving out of the boiler position, looking for JW.
Baits it up though. Will they check for Crims? Probably not. He's not engaging at all. He wants two. And he's got Flusher to peek with him as well. They'll exchange positions. This is a huge trap in the Arch area. They're playing to win the game on Arch, not to frag one player. So Xantares will hold his ground, but eventually quietly move away. Thinking maybe against different teams or other situations. There is a big play there on the T side, which is torn to pieces. They head towards B now with the bomb. 40 seconds left. Now, we have Brolan in the pit with the last smoke grenade for Fnatic. So once again, Big will be moving into two players, but can he be successful this time?
So Big left a player back who heard the flash, which is the info play flash, and then Big know what they saw, which was no one at A, and so then they rotate back to A. Beautiful stuff here from Big. They have to get the kills though, and there's very limited time to do so. JW still providing some resistance from Library with the AWP, but it looks like there is just enough time and space to get the bomb down. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. Next with a couple seconds to spare even.
Bombs planted double stack. The default plant prevails. All three Fnatic players coming from the same position, not known by Big just yet. So you've got Smuya holding top mid for the time being. They know one player is or was Graveyard, and one might be on the site having planted the bomb. They won't know that Smuya's top mid just yet though. The run boost fails or whatever it was supposed to be. Next now, 12 HP, will it be enough? Smuya than 1 versus 1, got the angle, and Golden was low through the barrels. He will be taken out to make 6 rounds for Big on their T side. Not too shabby, all things considered.
And again, it's just all about this. It's all about that pop, like leaving a guy behind to hear the pop flash. They're almost baiting Fnatic into going for the information, because at some point the CTs have to get the info so they know whether to rotate. And then once that pop flash is heard and they've made presence on B, they can just rotate all the way back because they know that that flash means that someone just checked top mid and they saw nothing.
It's a good point, Dan. I noticed that too. It's a good point.
So that's Inferno, isn't it? It's how it works. Trick those rotations. Fnatic getting some control on Banana for free this round. And Big with a delayed mid take. They have not put any efforts into Banana. You'd imagine they'd go back to Banana at some point. At least throw the flash for half wall so that you force back the AWP.
Isolation grenades. Top mid is taken. A smoke is dropped in the flames. There'll be a push through though from Tabson, and that's a rifle collected in a difficult position for Fnatic, doing more damage. Smuya creeping with the bomb. Gotta be careful. Smoke's still up for now. Xantares getting tagged down to 20. JW having a look on Banana. Golden is in danger. He'll ring the bell though. Again, that is the bomb spotted in Arch. JW moves forward but loses the duel. Stereo frags for Big, and the round becomes winnable once again. The bomb has to rotate though, has to get off of mid before anybody peeks. Nobody will. They make their way towards B, as do the remainder of Big. Smuya could drop the deep smoke towards CT. Or they could keep the angles open for the AWP, but I think the deep smoke would have been huge there, but maybe it will be anyway with Tizian in construction, taking Flusher out, isolating with the Molotov. Crim stuck between the Molly and the smoke. That leaves Brolan to run away with all of a FAMAS in round number 14.
Right, so 7-7, and yeah, things looking pretty even here. Again, given how difficult the start was for Fnatic, you know, they've been really finding a lot of success on their CT side. T side is a different beast, and we're almost at that point where we see how that goes. But for now, it's all about seeing who's going to get the 8th round. Brian has found himself an upgrade, which is always nice. Okay, so double AWPs, tossing one of those down on the grounds. Not too surprising. Hard enough to make one work. Nice shot by Smuya.
Yeah, that was a big kill on Smuya to help ensure a lot more rotates. And I believe they saw the bomb on him, so it caused even more people to scamper around towards the A-bomb site.
Oh dear, look at this. I didn't know it was this quite this bad. 3 CZs at Deagle. Flash, deep smoke. Good work from Fnatic.
Tag down to 20. Very ropey buy for Fnatic in this last round. They will aggressively take banana. Got to make up for things somehow. Golden is left with a smoke. Will they put 4 on the A-bomb site? Seems they might stay 2B actually. Flusher having a look. Expecting a retake of banana from Big before they make their ultimate intentions. But no, Flusher heads towards the A-bomb site, so Golden can delay things with a CT smoke later on if required. Now what do Big do? Again, they will want to establish some control towards banana so as not to telegraph their intentions in either direction. A slow creep from Xantares. I'm sure there's a flash for him over the half wall. Seems he might have to do it himself.
All the utilities gone from Fnatic now, except the 2 flashbangs. And there's 30 seconds left, so they've done a decent job in that sense, but they won't have anything really to defend a push with. And there's a B split. A wrap through CT, that's going to be very tough. Oh, the single flashbang! Oh, Golden Sun 2 kills. That is enormous. Enormous damage. There's 20 seconds, there's 3 players going on the flank. This is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, they have no idea where Flusher is, and the bomb is in danger because they've just about cleared banana just before the CTs get there. The cavalry racing in, next waiting with the Krieg. Spots 1 player, Flash goes behind him, Crimson's a free fight, there's a swing from JW. Bomb's planted now 2 versus 2. Roland has a kit, both players here. Not sure if they've both been spotted in that banana position, but I think Tizian's heard the sounds now. Got Smear creeping in the meantime, been on 20 HP for a while, and shot through the wall at pre-fire from JW is epic. And it will be Fnatic with a 1-round lead at halftime. Going to rescue down in the last round, why not?
Oh, bad man, BW.
There we go, Fnatic lead 8-7. We'll see who takes an early lead in the second half after the break.
Up your game. 128 servers for the smoothest, most responsive gaming experience ever. Ensure you game seamlessly with our state-of-the-art FACEIT anti-cheat. Track your progress with advanced stats within your community, country, or region. This is the true ranked experience. Sign up now at FACEIT.com.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to CS.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Welcome back. It's a close one so far. It's going to be interesting to see who manages to take this map. The T side of this map is quite different, of course, than the CT side, so looking forward to seeing what Fnatic have to offer in terms of interesting rounds. Well, that's certainly a good start from Mr. Xantares with the P2000. I am a fan of the P2000 myself.
I have a love-hate with it.
I'm back on it soon. Flusher just harassing the B-bomb sites. It's really hard to know what to make of this. Just making noise, spamming. You've got so many bullets with the Glock. It's just so free to spam.
I know, and it needs to get nerfed too. Why does it have 140 bullets?
It does seem outrageous. Yeah, it does seem unnecessary. Like 60 is still a lot, for example. Yeah, it is a bit weird. Oh, we've got the smoke on Moto. Forces Smear inside the A site. He has next in pit to play off of, and also Tabson's rotating in from CT. So, Pit getting some info there. So you're going for a little look. The bait setup. Next pops out, takes down Flusher, and it gets worse for Fnatic. JW though with a quick double is making things a little bit better. Might secure the blood just about. Maybe he's on for the clutch now. 3 kills, has to get it with the ace. That bomb is taken away. No idea where these players will be coming from. On the Glock as well, so the range towards Library is not going to be favorable. He's going to have to make sure they get closer. So he's going to take up that porch angle, that lane angle, and it's an easy kill. Tizian's looking into the bomb site. Now they know where he is. JW for the ace, for the pistol. Can he make it work? Here comes a challenge, switches to the burst, but Xantares shuts it down. And he goes with the full defuse here. So it's a tight one as well without a kit, but I think he's got it. It's really tight. Oh my god, what? He just doesn't have it. I thought that he had that one. That was very close. Well played to JW.
And that's a round that Big probably shouldn't have lost. Now Tapson getting that kill in that, because he's pretty much 1-on-2 in this bomb site. That first kill was great.
Wow.
But then after that, he should have fell back, wait for his team. I know it's so hard because you're right there. The bomb's planted. You know where he is. You don't want the other player to reposition. But a 3-on-1 situation is so powerful, like you just let it slide. I mean, the bomb's already planted. Take your time. You know, don't blow it. Keep it simple.
Yep.
And count your money.
I'm glad that we see Flusher getting the Mac 10 here. It'd be cool to see even maybe another SMG and we get a UMP on JW and a Mac 10 on Golden. So I really like to see that. I think on this map in particular, the Kriegs aren't quite as good as they are on some other maps. Like there are certain peaks that are really strong, like the right eye swing onto coffins from top banana with a Krieg is really good, and certain spots like that. But generally on this round, you want to get position quickly, and the best way to do that is with an SMG, and they've got a bunch of Mac 10, so the banana push is all but guaranteed. And here they go, Molly forward. Actually, just Flush already, he's up close. That could be a grenade. She does nothing, fair enough. Spotted out. There's one more to go. Golden trying to find the kill here. Just chasing it down. And that's one of the other reasons why the Mac 10s are great on rounds like this, is because getting information is key.
Yeah. It looks like Fnatic's going to try to walk back the way to Banana and B. The nades are going off, so Big has a pretty good idea that they are doing the B executes, and Terra's in a good spot, but it's like smoked out here.
Spam from Xantares. Down to 11 HP. Looking to create some kind of surprise. Tizian looking for a flank, which is never going to come in this round. There's the first grenade in. Looks like they have considered that their best chances to win this round have come and gone. They have been outmaneuvered and they will retreat. Turn attacks around and wheel them away. It's really strange going to Normandy in France and seeing all the tanks just on the beach in various places and positions, in various states of disrepair or...
Just been left there?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it.
Yeah, there's loads of tanks just all over the place. by the beach. It's very, there's lots of like, I don't want to say hilly, but the terrain goes up and down a lot, and there's just tanks all over the place. And they're extremely heavy, obviously.
I thought they were like cleaning up by now, use it for scrap metal.
No, I think it's part of history. It's part of the character of the place. 3-round lead for Fnatic. Double UMP. Again, we're seeing the return of the UMP. So rather than a Mac 10 party, we've got that increased armor penetration from the likes of Flusher and GW, at least as far as the SMGs are concerned. Fast win from Flusher, nice pre-fire. Not getting much of anything, but see there's a 2-man setup with these SMGs. Trying to invite a forward play. Maybe standing on the roof, he would see a flashbang coming. Flusher able to snap away, but doesn't seem like that's coming anytime soon. Tizian is on the A-bomb site with the only flashbang here for Big.
Copy still not cleared. And now it is. Tabson. Oh dear. 2W's been taken down. Traded. Oh my god, that's disgusting. So much damage from that PT-50, and now in creeps Smuya. He's picked up a UMP and he has been eliminated. And now it's time for Fnatic to work out exactly how they want to do this. They have Crims holding down the rotation, looking for the wrap onto the B-bomb site as his teammates coming from Banana. Xantaurus, Mr. One bullet accuracy. It's going to get tapped down by Brolan, and that's going to be a much easier situation to handle.
2-3, sorry, versus the one of Tizian. Again, he has lost position. Now there's a gamble here between saving Kevlar and trying to pick up one of these weapons in the banana position. Fnatic moving to 11 very shortly, 3 from 3 at the beginning of this second half. Train and Nuke to come. This is the pick of Fnatic. They're going to be in a strong position once the first buy comes out for Big, unless they're going to go for that second eco round or half buy that we saw in the first half. Although I think it's harder to justify on the CT side, especially when you are already at a deficit. Although of course it did start pretty close, but having lost a pistol now, they find themselves 0-3 in the second half Big. But the money looks good.
Yeah, Fnatic finding success in getting a bomb detonation every round so far of this half. It's always nice. You get the extra money. You get 3,500 as opposed to 3,250, which is what you get for elimination. For those of you that don't know, there is a difference.
It all adds up.
It does.
Now we see the op on Smuya. When he first grabbed the op last half, that's when he started to hit some shots, get some kills, create some momentum for his team. Very impactful gun for him. Look at that hellfire just everywhere in Banana.
Flame carpet. Dormammu Games on Banana. And normally a T-side to take that map control this early would cost them more health points at the very least. Not the case for Fnatic. Nice peek on the balcony. Towards lane. Tabson's in an elevated position. Can't re-peek too many times, and the HE is there in case Xantaurus wants to help his teammates. Half health now, and those AKs only get stronger.
It's a tough one for Big. Brolan wants to punish that throw so hard, but he can't quite find the spot for it. Falls all the way back, actually, and Tizzy's going to make some noise whilst he investigates. That could really pay off that timing for Fnatic. Re-smoke from next, but that's the last smoke. Fnatic, do they want to just go through, or do they want to wait it out?
33 seconds on the clock. No warning, no sound cues. The burst. It's going to be a nasty surprise. Minimal time to react, minimal time to rotate. Tizian is alone, although Brolan was looking on the site, taken out from the pit. They need to play the numbers here. 9 seconds, and that's the round over. There's no way Big go for this on the A bomb site. It wouldn't make any sense.
So that was very interesting alt placement on Big. First, Smooya was boosted on the window ledge with an AWP. Haven't seen that too often really at all. It's a very risky spot. Usually you want to put a rifler up there because it's easier to control and dodge pop flashes. Alping, you don't really need to have these two crazy spots. And then towards the end of that round, the Alper was pretty much on the balcony / awkward spot in pit instead of maybe holding a strong angle. Just either a porch or wrap side just to, be sure that you have a first guaranteed shot. That's right.
Yeah, it did seem strange because it does feel like it's a pretty extreme spot for the AWP. I get that you want the element of surprise and everything like that, but yeah, it's definitely
Unorthodox.
But credit to Fnatic, they had a pop flash there that was pretty devastating.
Yeah.
Smooth was totally blinded.
So what do Fnatic do now? It's very big. Do they keep the money together? So rather than force up around the rifles, their worst case scenario going to be able to buy together in the next round. So they will just pick up some utility. Maybe if a player is lost and they can do something. We saw that. That's a very common sniper flashbang we see. If a T goes to the other side of mid and then eats that flash and tries to hide behind a wall, their head is not protected. So you can get a free kill. Fnatic have lost 2 players early, so this fight might just work out a bit. There's a spray, there's a swing from Tapson. And with 3 rifles to start with, they've got a 5 versus 2 big.
Yeah, some big whiffs there from JW, but look at this actually. It might be a small window of opportunity. There is a pretty fast rotation coming in, but if Fnatic can bust their way into this bomb site quickly, then they might be okay. Tizian behind the smoke is going to push forwards. He knows he's got an advantage here. Here's that bomb going down, wants to investigate surely, but actually stays in position around the smoke, inside the smoke. I mean, it's a 2v5. This would be ridiculous for Fnatic to win this. Their backs are against the wall right now in the bomb site itself, and there's 4 players coming their way.
Looks like a swing will be attempted. Smooya starting off well with the Desert Eagle. They started with 2 players on pistols. They only lose the 2 players who started with pistols, and they get AK upgrades as well. You couldn't ask for more for Big. They had discipline. They didn't force around the guns. They kept the money together so they could play the long game, but in the short term, they will have a very surprising win. The fashion in which they won that was outrageous.
Surprised Big didn't stop on the defuse and get the Opper and Banana because they killed JW earlier in the round. And they had plenty of time to send someone down there to kind of scope it out to see if there was that AWP. It's about the little thing.
AWP for both sides. Yeah, it's good to always have that awareness. Well then, the lead is reduced to 4 for Fnatic. Has to feel confident going into that one. Smooya is ready for fast flank top mid. In the meantime, Xantares will be lost. Tapson looking to do what he can. The transfer is disgusting. The pre-fire behind the half wall as well. Talk about a shutdown.
Oh my god, what the hell was that? That's unreal from Tapson, how fast that transfer was. It is hard to believe, but he's pulled it off somehow. Curves in a 1v3. A little bit of weak flash over the top here. And next to nail him in the face. And I'm looking forward to the slow-mos. Let's run it back 3 times at least. Let's go.
I thought he was dead with this angle, to be honest. He's taking into 3 people almost.
Just like clothesline them all. Just instant headshot off the transfer.
There we go, it was 3rd time.
Nice. Thank you very much. Okay. This Molotov is really, or Incendiary is really nice because it does slow down the B side pretty dramatically. And it gives you the option to go aggressive. But it has not worked out this time for Big. That has though, and that's Smooya's been causing some problems around middle.
Xantares will take out Golden in isolation. Winter Golden. Maybe I'm onto something, but probably not. They are on the B bomb site though, Fnatic, making their way around towards construction. Flusher trying to get as much map control as he can, trying to avoid the double peak, somehow getting out of that with a frag, and no response from Big.
That's pretty nuts. Smear's really dangerous here as well, and that's such a big kill. Smear's gone. And Flush with the Mac 10. Oh my god, he's found a perfect timing. And this is... Fnatic just wiped out their own loss bonus. If they lose this round, they're going to have absolutely no cash for a while. Luckily, they had some money in the bank, but that is very surprising. That is the second time that Fnatic have lost 3 players and are effectively in the 2v4, 2v5. And because of the full rotation, they had the bomb in the right place to get a plant, and they get an after plant. And this time they won it. That's actually pretty impressive.
They have plenty of utility on the big side too. There's no early like pop flash from spawn. There's no smokes. There's no distraction. 2 people had pretty much full utility on the retake, and they just get all picked off.
That is the power of Fnatic. Sorry to the pop flash, and Tabson is on fire just a little bit. Grenade towards top banana. Smooya elevated, escaping somehow. That one looked dangerous, but he doesn't take too much damage. Next has been spotted. He's been spotted as well. He rings the bell on Tizian, cleans up. Santares will take Golden out at the same time. 2 players lost top mid as they try to fight for banana Fnatic. JW goes to the logs as his teammate just left. Does Tabson creep through the smoke? Flusher with a quick QQ, but his gun's back out in time. The runaway on banana actually just baited Big into making a critical mistake. Now they've lost position, they've lost a lot of players as well. Santares rings the bell, but the wrong weapon for the job. 1 shot's not enough. That leaves Tizian in a 1 versus 3. Bomb has to be collected by Flusher. Bran holding, keeping things secure towards A in the meantime. Flusher checks second mid, nobody there. Time to go towards B surely. Trying to be really careful, but the worst is over.
Can't believe Tabson pushed like that through the smoke. It was a 4-on-3 situation for Big. You don't need to get info plays right then.
I like how we're seeing... Yeah, I think Flusher could have had a better weapon at the beginning of some of these rounds, but he opts for the Mac 10. I really like that because the Mac 10 has some utility to it that the AK or Kriegs do not. You know, you can run quickly into position, you can be effective whilst moving and shooting, creating space for the riflers behind you and so on.
It's also very common for on these, you know, if the CTs are kind of low on the money, they won't buy head armor. They just buy the regular armor against AKs and whatnot. The Mac 10 just explodes their brains.
So credit to the weapon balance for the most part. We've got some short-term problems with the Krieg, but apart from that, it's in a great place. Considering how Counter-Strike used to be, it's kind of ridiculous that there are so many viable weapons at the moment.
Yeah, you have to credit Valve for making that happen against a community that is staunchly in favor of keeping things the same.
It's easy to forget that with all the complaining. People are quick to complain, but slow to praise.
I like this knife. This is might be my favorite one right now. This looks nice.
It is. It does
a
look
good
nice.
balance of everything.
It does look nice.
Not too big, not too small. Character to it.
Also, I think last week you said that was his knife name was the hex color or whatever.
Oh, we have to get to that in a second because we've got a fight on banana. Flusher showing presence once again. Doesn't want to go too deep. Again, the traces can be punished, especially when you're the one closest to the smoke. HE exchange will be costly for both teams, but there are still 10 players alive. That thing slowed down. What were you going to say?
He
I was
did
going to say it was XD repeated, not the hex
Oh, was
color.
it? It looked like zeros.
It does look like it, but it's the X with the...
Absolute geek.
Smiley.
The smoke won't come fast enough to save Tabson. However, I love the smoke by the half wall, but the timing doesn't work out for Big on this occasion.
Fnatic's movement on the C side has been really awesome. Oh my god, the timing is unreal. They're finding a lot of good timings, Fnatic, and really, I love some of the retakes and the movement they have together. Sometimes they'll like void a position, go back, void it again, go back, and just really playing with the CTs. Definitely a doable retake coming in here. Tizian's in a decent position, although they don't understand that Flusher is effectively on the flank, but maybe they do. He's been spotted and fragged, leaving it all to Crims and Brolan.
They are high health. Santares is low. Next has an MP9. That's going to be a rough spot. He's showing presence from a very far away distance. As far as the weaponry is concerned, it's Crims now 10 HP, but the numbers game is too great. Next just being a nuisance. Props for him to just show and run distraction with an MP9. from the arch position. That is not a fight he can actually take at all, but look at me, he's waving his arms around while his teammates put work in. And Big make it to 10, they're keeping it close, they're keeping the money relatively honest for Fnatic. They have one buy for most of their players, but beyond that, there is worry, there is fear, there is doubt, there is hesitation.
The problem is here is that Big is spending everything, and their loss bonus is basically being reset to nothing. So if Big loses this round, Fnatic are going to have a significant advantage on the weaponry in the following rounds. So Big have to win this.
Yeah, they both do. If Fnatic were to lose this, their money would be low as well. They have the lead, but that lead would be squeezed by Big, which they certainly don't want. Brolan with an important engagement, down to 11 HP now. Does he give the rifle to Crims? He's only got CZ. Brolan can be the bait. He can be the swing.
Wow.
Oh, that's unlucky. It's so
a lot
unlucky.
of those spots going to Fnatic, aren't they?
Put yourself in a position to win. Fnatic are most certainly doing that. Tabson and Smee remain Smee on the site through the flames, and he will get nothing from this. 5 players alive for Fnatic. Tabson and CT spawn looking at a chicken.
A big falling apart here towards the end of this half. Just try to force these kills and one-on-one battles and not hitting their shots. Force a lot of these angles. You have to hit some of these shots or have a teammate to help you out, at least exchange the kill. Big's not giving them any, themselves a chance.
And there's game point for Fnatic. Again, this is the pick of Fnatic. Big's pick is to come. That's the next map. That's Train. But is it just around the corner? Or is there more play to be had? It won't be easy for Big. We'll soon see what kind of buy they have, what kind of weaponry they have to offer Fnatic in this. And we'll see what pace Fnatic take this at. Surely there'll be a lack of utility to hold Banana early, for example. Or maybe not. They've got the smokes at least. There are no incendiaries whatsoever, though. And those are pretty critical for Inferno. Fnatic will bring the flames, those wine bottles. You can see Big have a very mixed bag here. Fast firing MP9. Armor penetration SMG with the UMP. Headshots with the Deagles, but easier said than done. Or is it? Next will make it look easy, but he will be traded by Brolan.
4v4 and Fnatic have loads of time here. Another aggression actually going the way of Big. So 4 versus 3, another AK that can be picked up. If Fnatic have a lot of choices here, they can try to seesaw things a little bit, go towards Banana, try to pull rotation, then back towards A as that smoke dissipates. They have the time for it, but will they do that? It's a lot of moving parts and potential spots where you can get caught off guard if you don't go for that strat. They're just instead going to keep it simple and go into the big bomb side. Xantares at the back here, Tabson will get taken out, but now it's on Xantares. The first shot is good, and now it's on Brolan. Can he win the first map for Fnatic? Got 2 players to deal with.
There's a smoke rolling on the floor, but he won't go for it. He'll go for position as a priority instead. He's not expecting a second player on Banana, but maybe there is a clue. No, he's going to moonwalk straight into it. He's got no idea whatsoever. Tizin will be very, very careful. Again, those bait setups, I don't know that that one was intended there, but you can see the effects of them. You're often never expecting the last player to come from the same position as the second last, and that is 11 for Big. 1 player surviving is not ideal, but they'll take what they can get at this point. There's plenty of money for most of them, as it's only Crims will be short. Maybe another CZ for him.
That's pretty smart by Tizzy at the end there. He wasn't really in a spot to trade off his teammate, and he saw Fnatic peek down in the banana, so he kind of hid to the off corner, walked up to make sure that he won't expect him there. Pretty much the perfect play. Now if you're Big, you're going to have to try to string the rest of the rounds to force into an OT. Fnatic's kind of on a... Looks like they're going to do flush shot. He went with the ump. He had enough for an AK.
It's curious. Why the UMP?
That is weird. Maybe he's going to be more of an aggressive spot. So he does have the first spawn.
It might be spawn-based, yeah.
Might do a banana play here.
It's interesting when you, if you're, for example, on a CT side and you're making a play with the underpass, then you shouldn't buy full grenades. But on the T side, I suppose there's a much bigger argument for a gamble. See how he uses the utility. Molotov to stop a forward play. Chi to go for the AWP position. The second one. Use the flash. Expecting the smoke grenade now, so it's all fine. Big exchange of grenades on Banana. Tibian will get the opening kill. Look how about that combo. That's unbelievable. Almost kissing flashbangs.
Golden's meaning serious business, isn't he? Flush will go down, unable to trade with the UMP. That's 2v3. Next going back for more. Might find too much. Indeed, JW will take him out. There's a smoke for CT. And Fnatic have a lot of advantages here. They don't have too much to worry about in terms of positioning for the CT side. It's an open plant. Construction control is with JW. Smeo trying to find what he can. The scoping will surely be heard in construction. They got a lot of. They have 2 smokes each, or well, 1 smoke each. Fnatic. Ooh, RIP.
Roland in the back of the site. New box. Smoke is up. That actually gives him a place to fight. They can't 2v1 him now. He's being patient. The bomb is being defused though. Perfect timing. Just in the last second. Does the knife come out? It's got to. And there we go. 16 to 11. Fnatic will take Inferno. Their pick over Big, who tried to come back but just couldn't quite get there.
Wow, it's kind of some nice win by Fnatic, but Big, I felt like there's at least 4 rounds where they had the numbers and the advantage and somehow just kind of threw it away. You know, they make these uncharacteristic info kind of pushes instead of just keeping it simple and falling back. Use the numbers. Like, this is a numbers game. It's a 2-on-4 situation. Wait for your teammates. You don't have to try to stop the plan. You don't have to get info at that point. Or like this one on the pistol, there was a 2-on-5 or 2-on-4 situation, and Fnatic actually ends up winning that pistol. Unbelievable.
I thought the game plan for Fnatic was pretty awesome on the team side. It's actually interesting how many spots where they actually got really fortunate timings, and so it must be very frustrating for Big to be on the receiving end of that. And on top of that, we had a couple of very strong force fires from Fnatic as well with the Eagles that did a lot of damage, and they're just a very dangerous team. I really enjoyed the purpose of just buying the MAC-10s or the UMPs and so on from Flusher. I thought that was really cool. And here we go, we can see that it was a team effort as far as Fnatic are concerned. And that's very encouraging.
Yeah, it's always nice to see the Fnatic factor back, and I think that core of Prims, Flusher and JW definitely brings that back into the team. So that's Inferno, the pick of Fnatic going their way. And now it's time for the pick of Big after the break. Will it go their way? There's only one way to find out. So stay tuned. We're back in about 5 or so minutes to find out if Big can take it to a 3rd map. We'll see you soon.